We're making the trip to Perth tonight. My name is Joel Peterson, and yes, I know what you're thinking, but no, this is the same set as last week, and that's the only thing that's changed tonight. I'm alongside Rachel, Jerry and Michelle Timms. Which of us didn't get the memo? Was it me or was it the both of you?
I wish I had. I would have worn my Santa hat.
It's the festive season though, Rach, and it's nice little... It's almost like unwrapping an early present tonight with our doubleheader.
Oh, absolutely. Two big games to finish off this round, and, you know, there's a few teams, I think, on Santa's nice list, but maybe a couple on his naughty list as well.
I like that. That's a nice little way into things. We start this show with our takeaways every week. Timsy, I'm going to fling the ball to you to get us going.
Well, my biggest takeaway, I did not know there was a Jumbotron at, if that's how you pronounce it, at the AIS Arena. But watching this game, I couldn't work out why players kept looking up at the camera. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, it was not just Jade. So whoever did the editing did me wrong. It was all the players. They kept having a glimpse up at the big screen. But I didn't know there was one there. It looks like she's looking at us at home.
Oh, Timsy, don't tell me you've never sat down and watched Michelle Timms highlights, please.
Well, only on my computer.
Join the club.
Yeah, exactly right.
We've all been there. We've all been there. The best one was when she hit the free throw at the end, and just a little slow-mo glance up to the screen. Jade is... well, I reckon that performance worth watching. I would have watched it again if I was her as well. Rach, your takeaway?
Yeah, well, mine is that, top spot this season is more important than ever. We'll look at the ladder and you see that the top three teams, we know who they are, Bendigo, Townsville and Perth. They're far and away above. They're beating all challengers at the moment and having total domination. So when you look forward to the finals, finishing on top spot and avoiding that 2 versus 3 series is going to be so important. So the head-to-head for those three teams is still up for grabs, so it's something to look forward to over the next few rounds. And you just think of the travel as well. You want to avoid going to Townsville, Perth and then Bendigo, the 3 furthest teams that we have in our league. So very important this season. They're
all challenging in their own little way, each of those 3 teams. My takeaway is our breakout player of the year, of course, here in the WNBL. Last year it was Abby Ellis. This year, could it be a 31-year-old? Could it be Alex Chibatoni, who is putting up career numbers? She is having an immense season. She's won Perth a couple of games. She won a couple in Adelaide. She had a career best 32 against the Lightning on Sunday. And as a young mother returning to basketball in the last little while, what she has put together has been absolutely extraordinary. And the numbers do it justice. So last year, her season last year was almost right in line with her career averages. And this year it is far and away better than that. So her season averages for last year are really similar to her career averages. This year, she is a different player. It is extraordinary what she is doing for this team, and she's gone from being underrated to now being one of the absolute key cogs in this Perth machine that is whirring once more. So who knows? I know it's a young person's award, so to speak, but we could have a 31-year-old breakout player of the year, couldn't we?
Absolutely. Why not?
Let's make up our own rules. It's Christmas. Let's 100%. Make up our own rules.
She's playing that well. She absolutely deserves the accolades, and so glad you brought her up because I think she has been underrated this season and absolutely dominating.
Let's take a look at what's happened so far in this round of WNBL basketball. Here are the results. The Bendigo Spirit started with a win over the Adelaide Lightning. Of course, our matchup tonight, Sydney and Townsville, they played on Saturday. Canberra and Geelong, Southside Melbourne, were beaten by Bendigo, and then the Perth Lynx really got going in that last game of the round so far against the Adelaide Lightning. Canberra and Geelong, though, we called the Geelong game last week where they came out really, really flat against Southside, and this looked like a different team on Saturday, Timsy.
Well, it certainly did. After their last performance against Southside, Timsy was off the Geelong train. I had stopped on the platform. I said, let me off. 4 days later, oh my goodness, I was so happy for them, the way they came out and pushed Canberra, had their opportunity to win the game. But boy, there was so many good things about this game, and the biggest thing I really loved was Jade Melbourne. And I'm not just trying to get back in her good books. She was absolutely fantastic and playing like we expect to see her play. So hopefully for Canberra, this is the start for her.
Some of the no-look passes were absolutely beautiful on Saturday from Jade Melbourne. And we mentioned that performance from the Perth Lynx. They were the other real talking point out of the weekend. 109 points. Honshu didn't get into double figures. They had plenty of others who did, Rach. This was the Perth Lynx of old.
Oh, absolutely. And it's, a little bit scary for the league watching that. They were just, all in their bag, and you know, like you said, Han Shu was a little bit quiet, but I think that just goes to show her impact. You know, Adelaide had to be worried about what she can do, and everyone else was able to get off the chain, and absolutely led by Chibatoni, and Annalie Maley was, you know, doing Annalie Maley things on triple-double watch and totally dominating in the paint. So very impressive, and can't wait to see their game tonight.
Yeah, they are a scary prospect, this Perth Lynx team, when they're up and running. They've struggled out of the season. They couldn't make a three, and now all of a sudden they can hardly miss one, and they look a really imposing prospect. The Annalie Maley chat gives us a nice little segue into the Opal squad that was announced over the weekend as well. This dropped on Saturday, so plenty of WNBL players in this list, and there you see all kinds of names. Izzy Borlace, of course, who is in there. 4 players from the Fire, 3 from the Capitals, 3 from the Flyers, a couple from the Lynx, Izzy Borlace and Steph Talbot from the Lightning, and some of our international stars as well. That is a very, very good-looking team, Rachel Jarrett.
Oh, a very, very strong squad. Just, you know, absolutely reward for some of those players' form at the moment, and I can't wait to see, you know, how Sandy is going to trim that down to a team that's actually going to play. But you mentioned Annalie. She's probably one that is a little bit of a surprise to be missing in that squad. She's been so great this season, and, you know, Timsy, we were talking, we just love the things that she does. She's, you know, our kind of player, isn't she?
Yeah,
just
100%.
those 1%ers getting on the rebounds, and, you know, a tough break for her, but she's been so great this season.
I think the other one who was unfortunate too was Lockridge.
Yep.
You know, she's having a fantastic season, and I thought she was a little unlucky to not get in the squad. And then, you know, we could also, what's happening with Beck Allen? You know, maybe she had commitments, but another one. But an absolutely fantastic squad. I was super happy with reading that list.
Yeah, it's a tough squad to break into. Clearly, Ryan Petrick was really strong after his post-game on Sunday as well. The Perth Lynx coach saying not really sure what Annalie Maley has to do if she's not in the best 19 players in the country at the moment. It is an imposing list, and yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise out of that Opals team, as well as Dallas Lockridge. They, of course, for a training camp in Turkey later in March. So who knows? There's always things that change. There's always opportunities that open, and no doubt we haven't seen the last of Annalie Maley, and we haven't seen the last of Dallas Rockledge in green and gold colours, that is for sure. Plenty more to come here on the W ahead of our Tuesday doubleheader. Stick around. This is our Happy Holidays edition of the W, building up to a Tuesday night doubleheader. We start in Townsville, the late game in Perth, so plenty of WNBL basketball coming your way this evening. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry and Michelle Timms with you here on the W, your team for our first game this evening. It is time to look at our rolling team of the year, where we assess how things are shaping up in terms of the players who are starring this season. Rachel Jarry, who have you got for us?
Well, we mentioned her in the first segment, but Alex Ciabattoni is in there, and Timsy's coughing over there because she doesn't think I have a true point guard in there. But I think Ciabattoni, Ball Ace and Woods are more than capable of handing a point guard position. But I mean, Ciabattoni does it at both ends of the floor, and super impressed with her. So I had to get her in there. I'm holding on the rest, but I'm going to need Mackenzie Holmes and Han Shu to have big games coming up, because I think Annalie Maley and Kelsey Griffin are sort of knocking on that door of trying to get into that team. So I'm holding for the rest, but yeah, impressed with Ciabattoni. She's in there.
Yeah, she's having a great season, is Alex Ciabattoni, no doubt about that. And as we spoke about last year, the likes of, last week's Tina Akuso just floating on the perimeter of this team. There's plenty of contenders. Timsy, what about your thinking around this? Could you sneak Jade Melbourne in there potentially as a point guard?
No, not just yet. She's going to do more than one brilliant game. Well, that was special though. She was amazing. If she continues like this, she might be bumping someone out. But not my starting point guard, Abby Ellis.
What are you liking about Abby Ellis this season?
Oh, just everything she's doing. She's facilitates, her IQ of the game, gets in and penetrates and breaks the game open for the perimeter. And just defensively, I just love that she gets up full court and she can really, dog players. So I'm loving what she does. I love what she can do on the on-ball, both offensively and defensively. But I'm on hold. I'm holding right here. And I challenge you both, because that, to me, is a darn good team. If I do say so myself. And
you've got an all-Perth front line there, so Annalie Maley doing enough for you to get into that team alongside Han Shu?
Absolutely. In fact, Han Shu better lift her game. I wasn't happy with her 9 and 7 on the weekend. So, Han Shu, you lift your game, girl. You need to be going, you are nearly 7 foot. She needs to be getting a double-double every game.
And non-negotiable for you, Timsy. Got to have a point guard in. So you're not subscribing to mine and Rachel's theory. And I know there's someone else who took me to task on this the other day. Good evening, Laurie Chiswick. That you need a true point guard. We can't do this thing by committee.
We cannot. We're going true point guard, and we're going a 5-man who has a double-double by the end of the season. I'm not budging on that one either.
All right, there's plenty of rebounds in your front court though, so even if Han Shu's not necessarily getting a double-double, there is a lot of rebounding there with Annalie Maley in that team. So our rolling team of the week, we'll revisit that every week as we go throughout the season. There's plenty of debate being created about that all throughout the season. Another thing we like to keep an eye on, and who's doing good things off the court with our personality of the year. We do have a runaway leader at this stage, but there are plenty that are making waves in the socials world here in the WNBL. I want to start up north. I'm a dog person. Courtney Woods is a dog person, so much so that her dog has even come to training. So here's Courtney Woods, her new little sausage dog, trying to, say goodbye. It's always hard to leave your dogs at home.
Look.
Well, she doesn't. She takes it to the court. The best part here is, Timsy, just wait a second. And here he is on the scorer's bench.
Barking instructions.
Now, yes, exactly. The real question is, will he be there tonight? Is he going to be on the scorer's bench tonight? I'm sort of hoping not, for the safety of the venue. It'll be an interesting delay to the game if all of a sudden Courtney Woods' dog starts running on. We've seen it. We've seen it with children. We've seen it with children in NBL1 a couple of years ago, where someone's child ran onto the court a couple of years ago. So who knows? That could be just something to watch out for tonight here. Courtney Woods' dog picks her up the 2 votes. We talked about Han Shu and the amount of fans that she's bringing to every game in the league so far. She's going to pick up the 2 votes and her legions of fans as well for the little presentation here. And how many pandas do you reckon Han Shu's got at home, Rach? I'd say more than one.
Yeah, I think more than one's a safe bet. I reckon she's got quite a few, but isn't she just so great? She's always engaging with the fans after the game, and she's just brought a new fan base to our league. The crowd attendance at her game has gone right up, and she's just been absolutely brilliant.
So if we talk draw cards to this competition, Han Shu is one, right? In international basketball, she is as big a star as we've got, just about. What about someone like Caitlin Clark? Like, what would it take? What would it take to get someone that is right at the top of world basketball into this competition? You know, it's not like the WNBL hasn't been here before, potentially with domestic players and international ones at different times. Could you see a world where someone like a Caitlin Clark lands in our competition?
Well, I think you might need some deep pockets,
I'm willing to chip in.
Well, me too, actually. I would love to see it. But, you know, it is, you know, Han Shu being in this league, I think it should give, you know, owners and clubs a little bit more freedom to be creative. Yeah. You know, getting a superstar Chinese player into our league is not something that would have been easy to do, and for them to get her here is a huge credit to Perth. But I think it should inspire the rest of the league to, you know, go out and try and recruit the impossible. Who's
your #1 draft pick for someone you'd love to see in the WNBL, Timsy?
Well, Caitlin Clark, without a doubt. Definitely Caitlin Clark, but you know, I just can't see that happening. But it'd be fantastic. But someone, you know, I'd pull Diana Taurasi out of retirement.
Yep,
that'd be fantastic.
Yep, I think that'd go down pretty well. We'll chuck the hat around, we'll chip in, and we'll see what we can scrounge together to try and get some more superstar power. I think it's going to happen at some point in time. That is no doubt about that. Our 3 votes this week, it doesn't go to Sarah Blitzarves, who's been on a little bit of a tear. We're going to head down the Princess Freeway to Geelong, where Mackenzie Holmes, of course, a new import in our competition this season, has been learning about doing things the Aussie way.
We're here with Mac, and we're going to do some Aussie slang. So the first one we have is an easy one. Macca's. Can you repeat the word? Macca's. Macaroni. McDonald's. That's like a short one. Yeah. Snag. Like a rip. It's something you eat. Shrimp on the barbie. A mozzie. Mozzie? That is a car. Carrying on like a pork chop. That's really good. That means I'm just going about my day, doing my thing. Good day, mate. Just gonna carry on like a pork chop.
Nice work from Mackenzie. I'm not sure she's quite got there with it. I just get the feeling she may not have quite picked up the lingo, but, you know, it's a process, Rach, these kind of things. You've got to get your imports integrated into things. Did you have something you'd go to with import teammates back in the day to try and get them a sense of where they were?
Oh, look, not really. I didn't actually play with too many imports here, but I remember when I went to America to play, one of my teammates was actually, she knew I was Australian. She was very surprised at how good my English was.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that was like once when I went over there, somebody asked me how I got there. You know, what was it? They didn't realise that I had to fly. It was like ridiculous. But the big thing, what about the Tim Tams? The American, you know, they always ask about the Tim Tams and the Vegemite, even though they can't pronounce Vegemite. But yeah.
I remember having a bit of an Australian party, and I put on some AFL, cooked them some sausage rolls. I had
sausage rolls?
Yeah,
dang.
sausage rolls.
I thought you were going to say just...
Or snag rolls if you're Mackenzie Holmes.
A roast and Lamingtons, Tim Tams, and yeah, I was everyone's favourite that day.
Fair enough. I'm expecting that this week, next week, to be honest, Rach. On this show, let's take a look at our leaderboard. Sarah Blitzarves is our runaway winner. Isa Brancatisano right at the top there. Runaway winner, I should say, but who knows? She might be our runaway winner at the end of the year. But there's plenty that are just chopping into that lead, and Courtney Woods is right there with her as well. So great to see so many of our players having fun on social media. They're all worth a follow. You can get in touch with all of our clubs on socials as well. We continue to build up here to our double header tonight. Townsville and Sydney, Canberra and Perth. We'll speak to Shannon Seabohm on the other side of this.
obviously we've got this little bit of a tough patch with, going to Townsville twice in a short amount of time, but I mean, the way I view it is exactly on the back of what Keely said, what we're doing during the week, and if we can keep the vibe high and everyone's working really hard, then generally the wins will come, and we've just got to keep faith that, yeah, we've put the work in, the rewards will come for sure.
I mean, Sydney played really hard. I think at the start, they were switching a lot of screens and things, and we just didn't do a great job of punishing that. I think it sort of bogged us down and slowed us down, and that's kind of obviously why they probably did it, but we didn't, we don't want to play that way.
This is the W. We are building up to a Tuesday night doubleheader. Townsville and Sydney, Perth and Canberra. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry and Michelle Timms with you. Great to go inside the Townsville camp as they prepare for this game with their coach, Shannon Seabohm, who's been good enough to join us. Shannon, about 72 hours since you last faced Sydney. Same opponent. What does the build-up to this one look like coming off Saturday's game for your team?
Yeah, look, I think we're both getting sick of each other. We've played three tonight will be the third time in 4 games for both of us. So, look, we had a tough game the other night down in Sydney, and I think we just did enough in the third quarter to kind of be able to create that separation and get a gap between us and them and finish the game off. But I think both teams are going to be pretty hungry to come out and, put on a good show tonight and get a win before Christmas.
Milasoa, of course, a new recruit to your team this season. She played all 40 minutes on Saturday, another 20-point game. She looks like she's fit in seamlessly. What have you made of her coming into your squad this year?
Yeah, look, I mean, she played the 40 minutes the other night. Probably wasn't planned on that, but she's been fantastic. I think, we obviously last year had a really good group, and we were probably lacking that player that's a bit different, and that has the ability to get hot quick and put some points on the board. And, I think Mila does a great job of that, and she's fit in seamlessly since day one with us, where, we kind of give her a little bit of license to take, the shots that she's good at and the shots she feels like she can make. And, we love having her here.
Shannon, it's Timsy. More a meaning of life question than X's and O's, mate. It's not often I get to speak to such a legend coach like yourself. Tell me, no matter what happens, whatever team you coach, whether you have to bring in a new team or whether one of your stars is injured for a few weeks, your team always plays selfless hoop, and it's so pretty to watch, and they seem so connected. So my question, is it the player or is it the culture that you drive that makes this beautiful basketball that we watch?
I think it's a combination. I think, we obviously have a style of play up here that some other people make fun of and say we're so much about the system and all those things. But the players have a lot of flexibility and freedom within that to make reads and make decisions. And I think we try and bring in really good people that we think are going to fit into not just how we play on the court, but also what we want to do off the court. And I think when you get good people like that, it's really easy to separate maybe your immediate individual goals, and trust that if you come in here and work hard and sort of show that you can be a team player and you can fit into the way we want to play, that, you're going to achieve your goals individually, but also help the team, to be able to go after the ultimate prize. And I think we've been around the mark the last few years, and obviously this year we've had a good start to the season, but, there's a long way to go. But I think, I think all the stuff we do every day at practice and how we talk and just driving that team style of basketball where we're willing to give up maybe a good shot to get a great shot for someone else, and always willing to make the extra pass and move the ball and, put defenses in a tough spot where, we know if we do that enough, they're going to start to break down and we'll get the shots we want.
Shannon, Rachel here. You talked in your press conference that you weren't happy with how long it took your team to combat the switching defence of Sydney, but the counters of your team is 100% the best in the league. You guys are so good at quickly changing and punishing teams on their defensive end. How much time do you guys spend at training, and what kind of things are you doing to work on that?
Look, I mean, it's a big part of what we do, and I guess just developing the player's ability to make reads on the fly. And, I think we drill it a lot. We drill different pick and roll coverages and how we want to attack each one and what we need to be able to do. And we believe if we get those things right, that, we have the ability to constantly generate the shots that we want and get teams off balance. And, we'll see how we go tonight. We obviously haven't had much chance to practice since the game the other day. So we've watched some film, we've talked about some things, and gone back over some of the principles that we want to play with. But hopefully, I mean, if they decide to switch again tonight, hopefully we do a little bit better job. But I guess we'll see.
Hey, Shannon, your focus is no doubt on tonight, but it is the 23rd of December and you're a young father. You've got 3 kids at home. So what does Christmas look like in your household?
Well, hopefully we get the win tonight so it can be a happy Christmas. But no, look, it's a lot of fun with the kids. Obviously, Christmas morning will be a lot of presents and a lot of wrapping paper all over the house and crazy stuff like that. And then my mum's up visiting and my sister lives here in Townsville now as well. So we'll spend some time with the family in the afternoon. And yeah, obviously Christmas is a great time of year and I'm very lucky to get to spend it with my family.
For your sake, hopefully it's Christmas with a W. Really appreciate your time so close to tip, Shannon. Go well tonight and thanks.
Thank you guys, thanks for having me.
Shannon Seaborn there, the Townsville Fire coach. Terrific to have him with us, of course, 5-time Coach of the Year here in the WNBL. What a performer he has been. These 2 teams did meet on Saturday, Timsy, and a couple of things caught your eye out of that matchup, particularly how Sydney started the game on the defensive end.
Yeah, Renee Gallup, you can really see her coaching strategy coming into play. Big difference to the way they were coached prior, and her switching defence has really caused, I think, a little bit of unsettling moments early in the game, which saw Sydney take that early lead. They switched it from a switching zone, different ways to defend the on-ball, and it was really clever. But, Townsville are Townsville. They're a great team, and you knew it was only going to be a matter of time before they found the formula and settled in.
And we talked, Timsy, pre-show, didn't we, that the way to probably beat Townsville is to have so many different defences to go to because they are so good at countering what you do and seeing what defence you're in. So Sydney did that great job of changing defences, and Townsville weren't really sure what they were doing, but they were able to figure out. So doing it for 40 minutes is the hard part of it all. Yeah,
they started off so well. It was only the couple of times this season Townsville have trailed a quarter time. They did on Saturday, but the challenge for Sydney, as Renee Gallup said in the aftermath, is just doing that for a little bit longer. Keely Froling and Unique Thompson were 2 that had really strong performances over the course of the weekend for the Flames. The Bigs got it done and had some really strong numbers. Froling ends up fouling out, having 16 and 6, but Unique Thompson just continued, and I mean, she's been a great find for the Flames this year. Oh, she certainly has, and just her story of how she's, really forced her way into the WNBL with her play at the NBL 1 level, and it's pretty inspiring, and hearing her speak, she's very proud of what she's achieved, and she's been so great for them this year, just so steady and just a big presence on the board, which is something they've really needed. So that's game number 1 of tonight. The late game is Perth and Canberra. That's coming your way, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, 6:30 if you are in the West. Timsy, the Caps got the win again the other night. Perth looked very, very good, as we spoke about a little bit earlier. Who do you think wins this one tonight?
Perth.
Rach?
Yeah, I'll have to go with Perth as well. Unfortunate that we heard the news that Sarah Blitzarves is out for this game. It just makes that task probably a little bit too tough for the Caps for me. It's going to be a big assignment for them. Perth look like they're in great form. That's the late game tonight. Next, though, is Townsville and Sydney in Townsville. The rematch of these 2 teams, that is just around the corner.
Nicholson lost Brazel behind the back and drains it with a midi. Against for Swain. Come out with some confidence. Another great look. Swain hangs and finishes. I think D once more. Creates space. Thompson staying with the play. Numbers ahead and Fowler all alone in transition. Leading Fowler, short roll and finds Froling. Woods carving through the keyway. Woods with the outlet. How about that? Weighted perfectly.
Tuesday night hoops here in the WNBL. It is Townsville and Sydney in Townsville in a pre-Christmas clash. 2 teams that met on Saturday are very familiar with one another, and it is full of festive cheer in far north Queensland. Townsville and the Flames, well, has been the Fire who've dominated the matchup so far this season. Our players and fans checking in thanks to Minor Hotels as we round down round 10 here in the Women's National Basketball League, and we get another battle of the Froling twins to take us to the break. Joel Peterson with you alongside Rachel Jarry and Michelle Timms for the call this evening. always interesting when two teams that have met in really, really quick succession race come together on the quick backup.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very tough thing to do, and it's often a bit of a mental battle. It can throw up some strange results. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be any changes on each side and if Sydney can put in that full 40-minute performance.
And a milestone for tonight for Keely Froling as well, Timsy, 200th game, and nice that she gets to do it back in front of family in Townsville.
Absolutely well planned, definitely.
Yep, done that very, very well. Let's waste no time getting to Keely Froling, who caught up with our own Ariana Prather a little bit earlier.
Keely, I am so excited to talk to you. You've been in this game for a long time. Game 200. When you reflect back on your career, what moments pop into your mind?
Yeah, 200 is a lot of games. I think for me, obviously the 2 championships with Canberra, like that was a really huge moment for my career. But it's probably not moments, but people that mean the most, and that I've met some really great people along the way as well.
When you think about the veteran leadership that you bring to the table, how do you establish that with your teammates on the court?
Yeah, I think for me, it just comes with how I play. And, you know, I do have a voice as well, so using that, but it's letting other people have their voice as well. So, you know, it's a mix of things, and I've kind of learnt through those 200 games how to express that, and yeah, that's how I try and do it.
You guys just played the Townsville Fire. What are the learning points that you have from that game that you need to take into tonight?
Yeah, we've kind of had a mini series against Townsville, which has been fun, but I think the big thing for us is obviously not getting in foul trouble, me as well, and then getting rebounds and getting stops, and we know we can compete with them.
Thank you so much, Keely. Good luck tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Milestone for Keely Froling tonight. Looking forward to seeing what she can deliver off strong performance on Saturday. On the Townsville side of things, well, Mila Sow was terrific. She played every second on Saturday. Another 20-point game. She's fitting into Townsville so well, and she caught up with Ariana.
Thanks for joining me pre-game. You guys have like now a mini series going on with the Sydney Flames. What do you have to do to make sure your team doesn't underestimate them coming into tonight?
Yeah, you know, they're a tough team. They're really physical. So I think just about us, you know, playing how we play, playing with our pace, and then on the defensive end, playing with our scout. Yeah.
What would you say is your team's biggest strength that makes you guys so hard to beat?
I would say everyone's a threat on the floor. So I think no matter where the ball goes, that person's a threat, and I think that's what makes us tough. Yeah.
Happy holidays! Give me a quick Christmas tradition.
Oh, I would say, yeah, watching like all the Christmas movies and having the music playing and then eating really good food, yeah.
Good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Eve.
I feel like those discussion points are going to be a bit of a theme throughout the course of the evening. Mila Sow, she's been feasting so far this season, 18.5 points a game. She leads Townsville in scoring so far this season in her first year back up in Queensland after crossing from the Perth Lynx. Let's check in courtside in the Townsville Entertainment Centre with someone who loves Christmas more than anyone I know. Happy holidays and good evening, Ariana Prather.
Happy holidays, do-do-do-do. I'm so excited! You are right, it is almost Christmas time, and I'm feeling the Christmas cheer for their matchup tonight. Everyone's wearing their holiday hats. I definitely feel the spirit, but I'm excited for this matchup. This is now the third time these teams have faced off. Will Keely and her veteran leadership be able to pull Sydney Flames out of the reins and pull off this amazing upset here in Townsville, or will Townsville just be too strong and overpower them as they have done in their last 3 matchups? We'll have to wait and see, but that time is coming right now, guys.
Thanks, AP. Looking forward to checking in with you throughout the course of the evening. So they've met twice already this season, Townsville by 33 and Townsville by 22 in the first 2 games. Starting lineups as per on Saturday, but the start for Sydney was so critical on Saturday, Timsy. They mixed it up on the defensive end. They brought the intensity. How do they do that for longer tonight?
Well, that's a very good question, isn't it? And one that they need to answer, because their start was fantastic. Especially Thompson and Froling, they really dominated that first half. And it will be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing how Townsville, surely they know that there's going to be different defensive looks thrown at them. So I'm interested to see how they handle it. And I hope for Townsville that they can play with a little more pace, you know. We didn't quite see that pace in the first half that we're used to seeing.
I think they take a bit of confidence out of that performance, though, from the Sydney Flames. Townsville notching up their 10th win last time out. They're 4-1 here. The Flames 1-6 on the road and 3-10 on the season. underway in Townsville. The Fire and the Flames going head-to-head once more. Townsville having won the past 6 games in this matchup against this Sydney team. Soa with 20 the other night, as we said, played every second of that ball game. Lucy Olsen into the starting lineup. No Courtney Woods again tonight for Townsville. Fowler taking it strong. Emma Nopu gets a hand on it. And the 24-second clock and an out of bounds will beat Townsville. So it's an encouraging start for Sydney again, Rach.
Can't ask for a better start when you're up in Townsville on their home deck. So getting that stop, and hopefully they can come down and have a good offensive set.
Always a challenging place to play. Agnes Emanopu had some defensive assignments the other night, utilising her length and athleticism. That one had a hand on it on its way out of court. Dover, Kylie Verhoeven, Taylor Folker, our refereeing crew this evening. This Townsville crowd on their feet to start our Tuesday night doubleheader. Michaela Can weaves her way inside, can't finish. Rebound will fall to Olsen. Import guard with her second start of the season. Alice on the blow-by, blocked by Emma Nopu.
Wow.
Agnes Emanopu with an emphatic denial. That's an early tone setter. Thompson at the other end. Got it.
That is one way to get your team up and about early when you're in front of a hostile away crowd up in Townsville.
Don't come more hostile than playing in
they don't.
Townsville, Rach. That's been going on for a while now. They've been around for 25 seasons. The Fire, they've been doing it for 25 seasons. Another block from Agnes Emanopu, who is locking down on defence. Here's the first one on the Amy replay. Have some of that.
Wow.
She said not today.
Oh, that's nasty. But you saw Sydney in this possession prior in that switching defence again.
Just your friendly reminder, this is a woman in her first professional season. What a talent she is, and there's another one on the way as well. Her sister Antoinette playing at college at the moment. That kind of play can just really set the agenda for the evening. Sydney off to a solid start. Townsville trailed for just the second time all season on Saturday by 1 at quarter time. Soa gets an open look. Falling more often than not this season. That one misses. Rebound to Thompson. Again, another terrific performance. 22 and 9, 10 of 16. 6 offensive boards on Saturday for Unique Thompson. She'll get a look from outside here. Shot it with confidence. It was offline. Emanopu rescues the possession for Sydney. Frolling the midi. Emanopu again. What intensity she's playing with early.
Wow, she has absolutely come to play, and Sydney are the best offensive rebounding team in the league, so it's no surprise that they're getting in there, and, you know, she just wants it more in that situation. It's great to see.
And there 5 rebounds a game, nearly 3 of them are offensive boards. Agnes Emanopu. Nicholson can't finish underneath.
I'm glad she's getting an early look, though, an early touch.
Really quiet last time out, Loz Nicholson. Sydney did a really good job restricting her impact on that game. Olsen, the little push shot won't fall. So again, a good defensive start here from the Sydney Flames. Just what Renee Garlett would have ordered in the early part of this one.
Yeah, well, and what's important, you know, when you're playing Townsville is that it's one and done. And Sydney have done a great job of making sure that they get those defensive rebounds. And then, you know, Townsville aren't able to get in there, get second, third shots. It's super important that you're finishing your possession.
Nicholson, the turnaround. That one doesn't go. Thompson, another offensive rebound with the bonus to come.
This is exactly how she started in the last game. Great positioning And it's so good to see Nicholson really looking to get after a shot and providing her with an ISO situation.
This is an inspired start from the Sydney Flames. Unique Thompson had 6 points and 2 offensive boards in the first quarter on Saturday. She's got all 5 for the Flames so far, and a pair of rebounds at the offensive end as well. Foul off the ball here.
Yeah, Thompson just being a little bit physical with Froling, and a few words being changed. Oh, there you go. She told her.
Renee Garlick
Zip it.
speaking in the aftermath about their foul discipline and how much of a challenge that is for this Sydney team. Keely Froling fouled out the other night, and they had a number who were in foul trouble. Going to be a little bit more mindful of that this evening. Olsen lobs it inside for Froling. Townsville on the board through Alicia Froling. A very quiet first half. Just a 1 point at half-time on Saturday. Finished with a double-double of 11 and 10. Nicholson to Keely Froling in game 200. That one rattles out. Almost another offensive rebound opportunity for Sydney. Hit-ahead pass now. Soa stepping back, firing. Can't hit. Go back with the Flames. 5-2 in the early going. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms and Ariana Prather with you. The first leg of a double-header on this Tuesday night. A couple of days away from Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone watching, no matter what and how you celebrate. It's a great time of year, and there is plenty of basketball coming your way. Nicholson on the take, driving inside, fouled by Soa. And Loz Nicholson got the better of the #1 matchup there, and she will go to the free throw line.
Well, this is definitely a different Nicholson that's turned up to play today. Soa did a really good job on her in the last game on Saturday night, and I was really keen to see how Nicholson was going to come out. I felt like she didn't get many looks, and the looks that she got were often late in the clock. And you know, I think Sydney looked better, and you're not going to believe I'm saying this, Rach, but when she gets an opportunity to run the one. So what I'm saying, not in the quarter court, but on a rebound, get it to her and let her go. Let her fly the court with the ball.
She makes the right decision, doesn't she?
Just going to note that down.
Yeah, I know. But
He suggested.
well, the problem was she was standing in the corner waiting for a shot last game.
Lauren Cox wasn't waiting around there. Gets straight to the rim and straight on the score sheet.
And Abby Ellis is so good in the on-ball situation, Rach. She just reads the play well, and her passing is elite. And here's something you might not know. She was a great junior netballer, and I think some of her passing, maybe as much as, again, I hate to admit it, might come from her netball. But, yeah, she's just, as you know.
And a pick and roll with Ellis and Cox, it's not one that you can really switch. So that's something that they need to continue to exploit.
Nick Thompson takes an early seat. Nicholson from the elbow, got it. That's Loz Nicholson all day long.
Just love watching her play.
8 points for the Flames. Nicholson's got 3. She only had 9 from 8 the other night. 3 of 13 from the field was the Sydney star, averaging 17.5 a game this season. Olsen tosses it inside. Fowler can't corral it. And again, that swarming Sydney defence. McDowell White, beautiful hit-ahead pass. McSpadden can't put it in, but Eminopu can.
Eminopu's another one who's having a better game tonight. She really struggled. She got in early foul trouble in the last game.
They led by 8 in that opening quarter on Saturday, Sydney at 15-7. They're up by 6 at the moment. Fowler drops it off to Cox, who rattles it home. In a hostile environment, a real challenge on the road on the quick backup. The Sydney team has again steeled themselves and come to play. McSpadden and Nicholson with the handoff. Second foul on Milasoa here in the early going.
Great cut there by Cox. But, you know, the intensity and the intent that Sydney have come to play with is so important, and that foul is certainly going to hurt Townsville while Soa has to sit down. but that, you know, it's no secret where these two are on the ladder and the seasons that they have had are polar opposites, but all you have to ask of Sydney is to come in with this intensity.
Round 10 is mental health round in partnership with Beyond Blue. Mental health takes a team. Your starting five are the people you can count on, lean on and seek support from. Know your starting five. Scan the QR code on screen to donate to Beyond Blue now. Celebrated across the course of this round in the WNBL, and it's a very worthy cause. Great to see our players speaking so openly and raising awareness throughout the course of this round. Sydney by 6 here after Nicholson hits both free throws. Cox from outside can't get it done. Shanice Swain into the game now for Sydney out there with Nicholson, McSpadden, Froling and Jess McDowell-White for her second game in Sydney colours. Swain into a mid-range, that won't go. Forster, Fowler, Cox, Ellis and Olsen. The 5 for Shannon Seabolt. Chloe Forster getting to the rack and finishing with some style. Nice finish from the young West Aussie. Plays her NBL 1 ball with the Warwick Senators. Froling on the take. Nice right-hand finish in traffic.
Great finish there from Froling in her 200th game. I'm sure that'll make her family and the crowd very happy.
16 and 6 on Saturday for Keely Froling. Had a real impact in that first half. Fouled out late, but got Sydney going in a big way. Fowler, cross court. Forster, another one. Doesn't go. Alex Fowler went into Saturday's game rate shooting 63% on the season from outside. Took 3 shots and her percentage on the year went up because she made 2 of them. She is having an extraordinary year from outside.
It's pretty insane, isn't it? She's just been so efficient, and I would love to see her get some more shots as teams put more and more work into Townsville and they're going to come up, you know, and have these tough games. She's just shooting the ball so well, and I'd love to see her get more of them.
Horvat out there now, trying to whip it inside to Lauren Cox, and they can't connect. Jess McDowell-White, her second game in Sydney colours. You can see her there in the number 24. Played a couple of seasons with Townsville, 25 games in the burnt orange of the fire. Olsen with time winding down on the shot clock. Straight away 3 ball, a little bit strong. Rebound 2, Jess McDowell-White, Queensland product. McSpadden. Rebound to Forster, who's giving him some good early minutes here. Fire trailing by 6. Olsen, this time, no. For a team that's shooting 40-something% on the season from 3, they are 0 of 6 in the early going, which is uncharacteristic. And that's a poor turnover there from the Flames.
But they're not their usual 3-point shots at the moment. They're a little bit rushed. Sydney are again, you know, forcing them into different looks that they would usually like. And the reason they are shooting such high percentage is because they get the right shots. So they just haven't quite found that yet.
Lots of Rachel Jarry alongside Michelle Timms this evening here in the WNBL. Cox trying to shovel it underneath to Horvat. And they got trapped inside the key there, did the Fire.
One thing that worries me about Townsville at the moment is they're not zippy. You know, when they're playing well, they're blasting cuts. They're, you know, racing into the on-ball at speed. You know, in that last possession, they were jogging cuts, jogging screens. Players weren't waiting for screens. It's just very unlike them right now. And on the back of their last home game where they lost to Perth, you'd think they'd want to be playing with a pep in their step.
Imagine Shannon Seabolt would be pretty miffed with how they've started here. Swain relocates the corner, catch and connect.
Boy,
9-point lead to Sydney.
How good was that footwork?
We know that Shanice Swain has a very, very deep bag. Just reached in and pulled out a trick from it there. Townsville with only the 8 points on the board with 1:15 remaining as McDowell-White plays the passing lane. They have not scored less than 14 points in a first quarter this season. They have not trailed by more than 5 at any quarter-time break this season, Townsville.
You know, Rach, with all this switching with the on-balls and that, or with their screens, that player just needs to go and dive. Don't set the screen, just go.
Yeah.
Alice with a wild shot as time expires. Got the call. And Abby Alice can just slow things down a little bit here for Townsville.
I mean, with that movement on the offensive end, Timsy, are we maybe seeing the impact of not having Courtney Woods there, who is such an efficient off-ball cutter?
Yeah, and you know what? Even last game, I felt like, yes, Sydney's game plan was very good defensively against Townsville and it upset them, but not having Woods there, for me, just kind of gave him a different look. It was still very good, but just looked a little different.
But Woods is sort of like Lauren Nicholson in the sense that when the ball and the play goes through her, she's making the right decisions and getting everyone organised. She's their leader out on the floor and knows this system so well.
With a hamstring injury at the moment, said that she'll miss next round as well when they play Bendigo. How long after that remains to be seen. McDowell-White, nice find underneath to get it to Thompson.
Well, it's interesting that Shannon, hasn't not opted for a timeout this quarter. He's, putting it on his team to work their way out of this.
Alice steps into a three. That one's a bit strong. 0 of 7 to start from outside here. There's bodies flying everywhere in the back court. As Nicholson races up that sideline and got some contact on the way.
Whoa. So I like that. I like Horvat being back in this team. Like, look at that body shape. Like, what an athlete, And she does such a good job defensively for this group. Off ball, like she really plugs well. I really like her game, and I'm excited she's back, and it's really going to help this team down the back end of this season.
10-point lead for Sydney. 34 seconds remaining in this one. And the Cat is firmly among the pigeons, scattering them everywhere. Joel Peterson, Michelle Timms, Rachel Jarry and Ariana Prather with you here. Tuesday night hoops in the WNBL. What a start this has been for the Flames, who haven't led in any game so far this season at quarter time by more than 7, as Forster on the take inside. Had another one swatted. This Flames defence has been suffocating in the opening term. McDowell-White makes her move. Float game, no good. Cox rips down the rebounds. Alice to give Townsville something heading into quarter time. Horvat has it blocked by Emma Nopu. What an absurd defensive corner from Agnes. And the Sydney Flames have put the wind right up the Townsville Fire at quarter time. They lead by 11. Their defensive anchor, Agnes Emma Nopu, with a little bit of everything. What a start for the visitors, up by 11. What a start from the Sydney Flames on the road, and what a start from Agnes Eminopu. The first-year pro has been swatting everything in that opening term, and she makes sure that Chantal Horvat can't get a potentially buzzer-beating 3 off at quarter time. Sydney by 11. It is Townsville's biggest quarter time deficit of the season. It's Sydney's biggest quarter time lead. And it's the equal fewest points Townsville have scored in any quarter so far this season. That gives you a little bit of perspective on what a good job Sydney have done in this opening term. They are 3-10, Townsville 10-2. Joel Peterson, Michelle Timms, and Rachel Jarry here with you. We'll get down to Ariana Player in a second for her take on what the coaches said at quarter time as Cox drops it off to Alicia Froling underneath. She will go to the free throw line. Gives us an opportune time to head to Ariana. And what did you hear from the coaches, AP?
That's right. I was listening into both huddles, and for the Sydney Flames, it was actually Keely Frawling, the veteran, who pulled her team together and said, this is all because of our defense. It starts with our defense. Keep up that intensity, and we will be fine. And on the other end, for the Townsville Fire, coach was telling his team just to slow down. It's all mental. He said, slow down, take your time, and don't forget who we are.
Ariana, it's an imposing place to play in, this Townsville venue. Among the people, what are you sensing among this crowd at the moment?
Joel, I feel the crowd is still behind this team. After every single possession, they're either clapping or cheering or they're showing their frustrations, but this is definitely not what anyone expected, to be down by 12 points in the second quarter to the Flames that they've beaten already twice.
Yeah, this was on no one in Townsville's Christmas list, Rachel Jarry, I would imagine. This has been quite the start from Sydney.
Oh, absolutely. Just the way they've come out, you know, Townsville just look quite flat. They're not playing at their usual pace, and credit to Sydney because, like Keely Frawling said in there, as Sola hits a huge three just to get them going. But Keely Frawley said in a quarter timeout that it was all because of their defense, which is very true. The way they've come out defensively, Eminopu 4 blocks in the first quarter, absolutely has set the tone.
Here is Eminopu driving into a mid-range and another offensive rebound. What a start to this game. She has had 4 blocks, 4 offensive rebounds now. Thompson with the catch down low. Froling doing all that she can on the defensive end, and Thompson can't make their second chance opportunity work. Foul as Alicia Froling and Unique Thompson get into it on their way up the floor. Let's take a look at the Amy replay of a beautiful move from Mila Soa.
Yeah, I just think Sydney are winning all the blue-collar things right now. And that's a great 3-point. And, you know, put it in perspective, Soa actually didn't play many minutes in that first quarter. So no Woods, no Soa for that first quarter. But I just think they're getting outworked. They're, you know, Sydney are doing all the blue-collar things, the boards, you know, being more aggressive. The shooting percentages are through the roof right now. You would never have seen Townsville be 11% from the 3-point line.
Make it 10.
There you go.
As Olsen misses that one. They're 1 of 10 from outside. They're 2 of 4 at the foul line. They're 4 of 8 from inside the arc. 28% from the field, and Sydney 38% at the other end, which shows you that their defense is getting the job done. Can skipping through, can't get the reverse to go. Coach mentioned the 4 blocks in that opening term for Sydney, all to Agnes Eminopu. 3 turnovers in that frame for Townsville as Olsen gets the reverse to fall. Now they're just starting to settle into things.
Well, they are, and they've gotten stops that's allowed them to go down their offensive end and get better looks for themselves. Say, Lauren Cox.
She just took it out of her hands. Thank you.
Straight steal from Lauren Cox, the reigning defensive player of the year. The 2 Americans, both of them Southerners. Lauren Cox from Texas and Unique Thompson from Alabama.
Give me that.
Early Christmas present.
Yeah.
Normally you get given a Christmas present as opposed to having to wrestle it out of the hand. That's sort of like sibling type stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Not that you and I would have ever done that to our siblings.
Oh, never. I was the angel sister.
Foul off the ball here. Fowler coming back in for Townsville. Soa Froling, Fowler, Cox and Olsen. The 5 for Shannon Seabohm. Nicholson, Michaela Can, Agnes Eminopu, Keely Froling and Unique Thompson. It's great to have a chat with Shannon Seabohm before the start of this game and get his thoughts on where he thinks his team's at. He said post-game after Saturday that the switching defence of Sydney really worried them. Not worrying Mila Soa at the moment as she cashes another one from outside and drags this margin back to 5. Some havoc again. That Sydney defensive look. Townsville working their way through it now. Nicholson from outside. Missed her only three-point attempt on Saturday. Froling had that one blocked
by her sister.
There's a foul. A little bit of Froling on Froling crime. They do enjoy going head-to-head, these two. Alicia just got a piece of the right hand there. There is Shannon Seabohm, the 5-time Coach of the Year. Former coach, of course, of the Sydney Flames, where he started his coaching journey, and Renee Garler, who, in her short coaching tenure with the Flames, is now onto her 3rd game with Townsville.
I love watching her coach in the junior national.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. And you can see some of that coming in to the Sydney team, the style of play. It's going to take time, though.
You're seeing enough from what they're doing, though, Timsy, that there are, some positive signs in how this team is approaching things, Sydney, at the moment.
100%.
Lauren Cox tosses that one away. Renee Garler and Keely Froling spoke after their last game, Rach, about the fact that they feel like they're doing the right things on the practice court and just continuing to do those. But when you're a young team and they've had so much change this season, both with players and sort of obviously coaching perspective, it must be really hard to maintain that level.
Absolutely. It's hard mentally, but you just have to set yourself as teams little goals within games and within the season as well. And, finals might be, sort of out of the question for Sydney, but they'll want to have a say going down the stretch.
You know how tight that ladder is. Lauren Cox with the block on that defensive play. It was a mad scramble for the ball. Alex Fowler found herself on the hardwood. And it's going to be a fire ball at the end of all of that. Take another look at the frenetic action here. Thompson and Fowler get tangled up. Plenty physical, this one, in the early going. Great to have you with us. Tuesday night hoops in the WNBL. First of a double-header tonight, Perth and Canberra. The late fixture. The Lynx are up and running, and the Caps take some really good winning form into that matchup tonight. Olsen trying to go baseline. Fowler couldn't corral the catch and then lost it out of play.
It's just messy.
Spent it before she had it there, Alex Fowler. Sydney up by 7. Agnes Eminopu takes a well-deserved rest in this board game. 2 assists, 6 rebounds, a couple of points and 4 blocks. A real breakout performance. Nicholson cashes the jumper.
Just a great player. Yeah. She read that so well. And Cox in her drops, too low.
Tough drops and a switch for Cox.
Loz Nicholson puts that Sydney lead back to 9. It's been a terrific start for the visitors. They lead at 27-18. So Shannon Seabohm, having not called the timeout in that opening term, does want to talk to his team here. Had some foul discipline issues in that opening term, and this is a position that, especially early in games, Timsy, this team has not found themselves in too much this season.
No, all good experiences for them towards the end of the year, Rach, but Shannon's quite right in what he's saying. He wants them to slow down. So in regards to if there's a pick and you're coming off it, make sure you can see what the defense is doing. If they're switching, hit the roller or kick it to get the angle pass.
Absolutely, and we heard him talk in the pre-show about how they work on their counters and everything at training, so it's something that they know how to do.
Whatever you hear to build with 3 fireworks in the backyard at 9 p.m.
Lauren Nicholson got us to the timeout with this. Had 8 points on Saturday when these two teams met. Did the Sydney Star. She's got 9 in the opening quarter and a half here. That is the lead of the Sydney Flames. 27-18, 5:19 left in this second quarter. Joel Peterson alongside WNBL, WNBA champion Rachel Jarry and Basketball Hall of Famer Michelle Timms. Ariana Craver is courtside with us. Ariana, what did you hear at the timeout?
That's right, I was listening into the Townsville Fire as they just knocked down a 3. I was listening into the Townsville huddle, and Coach was just telling his team that he didn't feel like they were getting the right reads offensively. He drew up that play that we just saw. Clearly his team has responded, but guys, I think what we're seeing right now is the result of playing a team so many times throughout a season. They just played each other days ago. So the Flames know what the Fire are going to be going after. They know their offensive sets, and now it all just comes down to who's going to work harder.
Yeah, there's no surprises between these two, AP, that is for sure. Dow White whips it outside. Swain back into the ball game now, stepping back and connecting. Shanice Swain with a triple. Sydney's lead back out by 7.
Hand down, man down. You can't be that far off Shanice Swain. We know how great of a shooter she is from the outside.
Lauren Cox with the spin move. Beautiful drop-off pass to find Alicia Froling.
And the last 3 plays, or 3 sets for Townsville, is looking like Townsville.
Starting to tidy up that execution. They trailed by 11 at quarter time. Swain thought about another and couldn't connect that time. Soa Froling, Fowler, Cox, Alice out there for Townsville at the moment. Alice tosses it inside. Alicia Froling is fouled, so that time it's Alicia getting one over Keeley and walking to the stripe. Second quarter action here. 3:48 remaining here in this second period. There's no better way to show your club loyalty this WNBL season than repping your favourite player's jersey. Whether you're in the stands watching from home, you can wear it with pride. Check this season's full range of club merch now at WNBLstore.com.au. Alicia Froling gets the first to go at the line. Townsville in that opening term hadn't hit a 3, were 4 of 16 from the field. They're now 10 of 23 from the field, 3 of 12 from outside.
Substitution for the Flames.
Thompson taking a seat at the moment. A couple of personal fouls to her name. Michaela Pan's got a pair as well. Soa Froling both playing with 2 fouls at the moment for Townsville. Sydney with the 4 team fouls. Plenty of time remaining here in this second period. Nicholson to McDowell White, orchestrating this Sydney offense, getting to her spot. Misses the jumper. Another offensive rebound, Agnes Emanopu. That's 5 in the game. And just need to reset the shot clock. What an impact Agnes Emanopu is having. 2 points, 5 offensive rebounds among 7, 2 assists and 4 blocks.
It's doing all the little things that, you know, you really need in a team. And she is that glue player. She can play different roles, defend different positions, and come out and do these things, you know, like the hard work stuff that you really value as a team.
On to Nigeria, moved to Tassie as a youngster, then to Ocean Grove, and on to college at Stanford and then TCU, and now starting her pro career with the Sydney Flames. And what a prospect she is for the future of Australian basketball. Alice trying to find Alicia Froling. They couldn't connect. Good defense again from the Flames. Dow White probing. Stepping back, Jess McDowell White from outside, no good. Another offensive ball to Emanopu. As she and Abby Alice both wait on the foul call.
Oh, it's a block out by Alice. We'll have a look here on the Amy replay.
Her second personal foul.
Yeah, she's probably got both hands holding her, so you got to have fingers up in case it does just that. The ball pings back over your head.
She is relentless, is Agnes Emanopu. Offensive foul here.
I'd love to see Sydney run something next time down the floor to look for Loz Nicholson to get a drive at the basket. She's got Mila Soa playing on her, and we know she's on 2 fouls. And Loz did that with such success in the first quarter. I'd love to see her try and get that 3rd one on Mila.
Soa from outside. Another triple for Mila Soa. Playing a bit of a lone hand at the moment. She's got 3 of Townsville's 4 made threes. And she ties it up at 30. 2.5 remaining in this second period. And all of them have come in this quarter for Mila Soa.
She's certainly got her eye in now, so Sydney are going to have to change the way they're switching. You can't let her get that shot off. They're going to have to jump out, try and make her give up the ball to someone else.
17 points to 9. So far, I should say 20 points to 9 so far in this second term. Tied at 30 apiece, 2.5 minutes remaining here in this second term. There's Shannon Seabohm addressing his players. Ariana had the chance to catch up with Renee Garlett, the Sydney coach, pre-game, and talk about the challenge of playing Townsville so many times in such a short space of time.
3rd game in a really short amount of time. There's no doubt, you know, they're an incredible team with a lot of depth, but I think for us, the common theme is probably foul discipline and taking care of the basketball, and just the little things that we can control, I think, will put us in a much better spot.
Renee Garlett, of course, all kinds of playing experience here in the WNBL, was in charge of the Australian Gems program, and now getting her chance in the Sydney Flames and settling into things. 4th game of her coaching career tonight. 3 of them against Townsville. So it's quite the baptism of fire, literally, for Renee Garlett here in her WNBL head coaching career. 2.5 minutes remaining here in this second term. Tied at 30. Loz Nicholson wanted to have a say about that. Almost another offensive board there for Sydney. They've got 9 in the game. 22 rebounds to 13. Dominating in that facet. Swain creates some space, and she's so dangerous when she gets that kind of look.
Just such a beautiful shot to watch when she's in rhythm like that.
Just haven't seen all that much of it so far this season from Shanice Swain. You know what she can do, capable of 40-point games here in the WNBL. Horvat across the lane, pushes that one home. Of injury and form just hasn't allowed her to find her best so far this season. Shanice Swain had 5 threes in 19 points against the Capitals earlier in the season, which was her season high. Soa, toss ahead pass, and Fowler rolls it home. Townsville in front for the first time tonight.
And that's great. We haven't seen that often from Townsville. Fast break points.
Minute and 5 remaining here in this second period. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms and Ariana Prater with you now. The pick from Horvat. Read the pass from McDowell White. Hand off with Fowler on the perimeter. Lauren Cox got McSpadden up in the air. Drives past, left hand finish, no good. Crashing the glass was Fowler, and Cox didn't get re-established on the floor. Agree with the call, clearly. Lauren Cox, our reigning defensive player of the year here in the WNBL. 1 point lead to the Fire. They have trailed by as many as 13 in the game. It's been a terrific performance from Sydney, but as they tend to do, this Townsville team will just keep chipping away, Rachel Jarry.
They certainly will, and yeah, we knew that they were going to come back in that first quarter. Was definitely not the Townsville that we know, but, you know, we heard from Renee Garlett before that they're all about control the controllables, and I love that. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing all the little things, the hard work, and it makes it, you know, much easier to coach and play when you're not having to coach effort or anything like that. So they can now work on little things. They want to come out of this timeout and try and win this last 42 seconds, get a score, get a stop, and go into halftime with the momentum.
A little bit of festive cheer around Townsville. I think Courtney Woods was promoting the game on social media this week and called it the, I think it was the festive fiesta, is what she was going for in Townsville. So I liked it, or the fire fiesta. I can't quite remember it, but she's a good salesperson, is Courtney Woods. There she is, front of your screen, out with the hamstring injury at the moment. Such a key part of all that they do. How about the fire? 42.5 seconds remaining. Sandhat's getting a good run, which is great to see. There you see the story of the game so far. Sydney have dominated the scoreboard in a way that not many would have expected of a 3-10 team against a 10-2 team, as Swain puts them back on top with a nice cut.
And that's danger time. Danger time for Townsville. Swain now with 11 points. She's starting to feel it.
Danger time for the competition if Shanice Swain's getting going. Olsen off to Cox, back to Olsen, the two imports on the perimeter. Forster down low, Horvath left hand, no, there's a foul.
Yeah, they missed Horvath early, but they got it to her in the end. And a little hand foul by McDowell White. You see it on the replay here, hand in the back. Oh, I don't know, just a little bit of an armbar in the tummy actually, but I don't know. Don't know about that one, but
Tough call.
yeah.
A little bit of a bailout call.
You know, it was really interesting with McDowell White coming in last week for her first game. I thought she did a really good job for Sydney. She took a lot of McCann's minutes at the point, and Cairns minutes at the point, and just a good body size, a good feel for the game, and it helps that she was used to be, you know, with Townsville as well. So Smart giving her minutes because she probably knows her stuff, but she's a nice acquisition to Sydney.
No good on the second free throw. Sydney will get the last look at it. Nicholson to beat the buzzer. Turn around. Got it! Loz Nicholson finishes the half for the Sydney Flames. And what a half it has been. 37 after the bucket to 34. Loz Nicholson back on song with 11 to get them to half-time. This has been some kind of performance from Sydney, an inspired first half. Let's get to Ariana, who is with Lauren Nicholson.
An incredible first half indeed. How have you guys been able to be so successful early on?
Look, I think it's the energy we came out with in the first quarter. I'm really proud of this group for bouncing back like this against a really good team, but we really need to come out in the third quarter with that same energy.
Defensively, what do you guys have to do to maintain this momentum you guys have?
I think a few people are coming up with some really big plays. Agnes has got a few really big blocks, and there's been a few really big boards, so that same intent in the second half.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a start full of intent from the Sydney Flames, and they lead Townsville at half-time by 3, 37 to 34. Milasoa caught fire in that second quarter, but it's been the Flames who are on top, doing it nicely. Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms to break it all down on the other side of this.
We
Lucy Olson, pregame. Happy holidays to you. All right, quick fire Christmas questions. What is on your Christmas list?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really have anything on my list. I have everything I want, so I'm thriving right now.
Humble and grateful during the holidays. We love it. Who has been naughty and who has been nice on the team?
Everyone's been pretty nice. We get naughty in practice fighting each other, but good competitiveness. So everyone's nice. Everyone's going to get some Christmas presents this year.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh gosh, I know, my brain. Probably Elf, probably just the basic Elf.
Okay. Christmas is best in the winter or in the summer?
The winter, of course.
What was the best present Santa ever got you when you were little?
Yes. A hoverboard. I remember that was like my favorite gift ever.
Well, happy holidays to you, Lucy.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Lucy Olson there, hoverboard. I reckon a hoverboard would go okay, just quietly, just to get you around, wherever you are. In Iowa, when Lucy Olson was growing up, that's a nice bit of work.
100%. I think I want one. I'll have to put that on my list.
I think we need to revisit our lists here at the deck. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms at half-time. Well, the Sydney Flames would have had a win on their Christmas list, and gee, aren't they doing nicely at the moment? 37-34. It has been a game full of intensity. That was our opener, Timsy, in our Hungry Jacks half-time highlights. What a start it was from Agnes Eminopu. It really set the tone.
And she has been fantastic. I thought last game, 2 days ago, she was a little bit quiet defensively, which is usually a strong point, but she has been a beast on the boards with the team's got 9 and she's got 6 offensive boards, maybe even 7, I don't know, but she is having a fantastic game and leading this group into, doing the little things, the blue-collar things, which is why they're ahead, Rach.
Absolutely. That becomes infectious when someone, repeatedly makes those tough efforts, that, heart and soul kind of thing, and everyone else is feeding off that. And that's, why they're in this game up to their eyeballs at half-time.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's our match stats. Townsville didn't hit a three-pointer in that first quarter. Milasoa had 3 of them in that second term. I mean, the rebound count really stands out there, Rach.
Oh, it certainly does. And, that is something Sydney would have come in and really focused on, and making sure that they clean up on that defensive end, not let Townsville get any offensive boards, and they've done that so well so far. But, I know that'll be the stat that Shannon Seabohm is highlighting at halftime, and I would expect Townsville to come out with a different mindset. Yeah,
Sydney probably couldn't have drawn up the start of this game any better if they tried. With what they've been able to deliver so far, Townsville will go to work on that. It's been a game of offensive fireworks, especially in that second term. We know that we've got 2 very, very talented scorers. Milasoa, of course, has been having 20-point games for fun, and Shanice Swain had a 40-point game last year, Timsy, on this very floor in Townsville.
Well, fingers crossed we get that again, but Soa made a big difference. She got in foul trouble in the first quarter. We didn't see much of her, but she came out and sort of kept the team rattling along, kept the scoreboard going. But Swain, she's so dangerous. There she is. There's Soa there with the big threes, but it's exciting when Swain gets going. She's attacked the basket, she's hit a couple of threes, and like Rach said earlier, I think she just has a beautiful shot, as does Soa. She doesn't need much time and space, Rach, that's for sure.
No, she doesn't. She's able to get it off, but, I think both teams will come out with a different focus on these players, and trying to make sure that they don't have any time or space at all, to make sure that they're really up in their grill, trying to prevent any more open threes.
Someone who hasn't given anyone any time or any space so far is Agnes Eminopu, who was about 30 seconds into the game when she produced an absolute evisceration underneath the basket, and she's been a defensive force. So a bizarre stat line, a really impressive one all the same. 2 points, 9 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, 1 steal, 4 blocks, Rach.
Oh, absolutely. So impressive. I think you could play a full career and never get 4 blocks in a game, so to have that in a half is super impressive, and just perfect timing. She just knows where to be at the right time, and like we said, it's just all hard, it's all effort, and she's been so impressive.
So that's been the defensive side of things for the Sydney Flames. At the offensive end, we spoke about how important Lauren Nicholson was going to be for them. Here's her forward shot chart. 11 points, and that sort of mid-range area is where she likes to operate, Timsy.
Yeah, she certainly does, and it's a real change from the last I think Soa getting in foul trouble, was a blessing for Nicholson, although she started terrific anyway. She got a few early shots off against Soa. But, yeah, it's great to see her with the ball in the hands and getting some early shots, early looks.
Yeah, they look a better team when Loz Nicholson is up and going. There's no doubt about that. This Sydney Flames, and what a team they look like in this first half. It's been all kinds of fun. They hopefully can produce more of it here in the second half. Sydney go into the second half leading by 3, 37-34. What a terrific first half it has been in Townsville. Sydney on top, 37-34. It's the Flames over the Fire here at halftime. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry and Michelle Timms with you. It is mental health round here in the WNBL. For more on that, let's go courtside to Ariana Fraser.
That's right. I'm here with Debbie DeCrew, a mental health advocate and ambassador from Beyond Blue. Debbie, why is mental health so important to you?
Mental health is important to all of us. It's just a part of us looking after our own health and making sure that we're getting the most out of life.
One of your guys' slogans for this round is mental health takes a team. Know your starting five. Why is it important to have such a strong support system around you?
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing that we've got other people around us, we are created for connection. So really knowing that we've got people in our lives that we can rely upon, we can go to, we can turn to, and they're there to support us. We can also support them. So important.
Absolutely. I know who my starting five is. I know you know who your starting five is. For the people at home that might need help, where should they go?
Sure, if anyone needs support, Beyond Blue is a fantastic organisation, 24/7 support available. That's available over the phone, you can chat with a counsellor, you can access that support online as well through an online chat. Great resources just for anyone that wants more information.
And for the fans at home, if they just want to support, how can they do that?
Yeah, sure. So this is the mental health match. There's a special donation site that's been set up. It's mentalhealthmatch.com.au/WNBL, and people are welcome to donate and support the great work that Beyond Blue does.
Thank you so much for your time, Debbie, and thank you for all the amazing work that you do.
Thank you for having me. Great opportunity. Go Fire.
Go Fire. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, great cause. If you can support it, make sure you do. Those resources through Beyond Blue for this mental health round. Second half underway in Townsville. Sydney 37, Townsville 34. This 3-10 Flames team have come out hot tonight. And the Fire need to really pull one out here in this second half. Come out all jacked up on the defensive end as well. Unique Thompson trying to make something happen. Eminobu was in there on another offensive rebound opportunity. Couldn't secure that one, but 6 in the first half.
I love that. I love that the Townsville came out, decided they had to get the ball out of Nicholson's hands and trapped it. Good defence.
9 offensive rebounds in the first half for Sydney. 6 of them to Agnes Eminobu as Soa tees up a 3, can't hit. And that's rebound number 10 in the game for Agnes. Thompson can't connect on the pass. Olsen waiting for things to unfold. Swatted by Thompson, who got a piece of the Alicia Froling attempt.
She wanted to join the block party Sydney are having.
It's party season, why not? And he could be pretty good value at a shindig, I reckon. Can tries to chase. Abby Ellis back to mid-court. Olsen putting the moves on. Left the jumper a little bit short, got it back. So a Froling Fowler, Alice Olsen, the starting 5 back out there for Townsville. Fowler on the move. Eminobu disruptive again defensively. Couple of hands on that pass. Nicholson gets to her spot. Can't keep it alive. Out there with Can, Eminobu, Froling and Thompson to start this first half. So 3 former Fire players out there in Loz Nicholson, Michaela Can and Keely Froling, who started her career with her hometown team, playing game number 200 tonight. In front of her friends and family is Keely Froling. Beautiful feed from Alice. Froling missed the layup.
What a great pass by Alice. That was super. But prior to that, Rach, I think they missed the switch. Should have gone inside. But that was a great make-up pass.
Absolutely, and yeah, on the play before, Ellis had Unique Thompson on her, and I'd love to see her just go, get out of my way, I can attack this and get something great for us.
Like the replay just showed us, they had a little bit of flair to it from Abby Ellis. That wasn't just your standard bounce pass. Wasn't quite a no-look, but it certainly wasn't a stare down. 2 on the shot clock here, and Nicholson now gets the steal. 9 turnovers so far for Townsville. Nicholson tosses it right back. Pick for pick to start this third term. No score as yet from our half-time margin. Soa's in attack mode. Fowler wants Froling, who gets position on Eminobu. And he's fouled. That'll be the first personal on Agnes Eminobu.
She had nowhere to go.
No, but
good defense.
Absolutely, and it seems to be a focus coming out of halftime for Townsville to try and get the ball into their post. They've been caught a couple of times with not great passes and a couple of turnovers, but it seems to be a focus. They're trying to get the ball in there, see if they can get Unique Thompson her 3rd foul.
Of course, Alicia Froling and Agnes Eminopu were teammates at the Knox Raiders in NBL 1 season, won a national title together, as well as the NBL 1 South Championship. So familiar with one another's games. No good on the free throws for Townsville. 4 of 10 tonight at the stripe. Thompson makes it count at the other end and gives us our first points of this second half. Can't leave Abby Ellis that wide open. She clanks that one. Keely Froling with the rebound, her 5th of the game. Swain, Nicholson, Thompson each with 11 for Sydney. Soa's got 9 to pace Townsville in terms of scoring. Keely Froling putting it on the floor, getting past Fowler and scoring with the left hand.
That is a tough, tough finish, and you know, she makes that look easy, but going to her left hand, finishing with the left hand, very tough.
Flames have just started to stretch this gap again to start the second half. Alicia Froling down low, going against her twin once and twice. And Alicia gets the last laugh.
Oh, that was tough.
Eyes just get drawn to that matchup anytime they do find themselves in close confines. Offensive foul here. Keely Froling just demonstrating what she thought of the call.
She's got a point.
But good on her.
So what did you think she did, Keely? Oh, yeah, okay, yep. Right, point made, thank you. I'm not sure the Academy Awards will be watching Keely.
She might stick to her day job.
Yeah, something like that as Abby Ellis floats that one in from downtown. Shooting it at a really high percentage this season, Abby Ellis. 53% coming into tonight from outside. She's hitting more often than not. She's 1 of 3 on the evening. Sydney by 2. Thompson almost lost it trying to go to Nicholson. Now Unique will get a look from straight away and puts that one in. Unique Thompson's got 14 in the game.
That's where Cox has to say, right, you know, Nicholson's man's back in front of her defensively. I've got to release.
With urgency as well.
Thompson rips down that rebound. No one was taking that one away from her. Can at the other end. Down low to Thompson, who got caught in traffic and was fouled. Plenty of contacts on that play. And here's the 3 from Unique Thompson on the Amy replay.
It's just way too deep and didn't need help.
Having a big who can do what she does, Rach, in terms of her work on the glass and then can stretch the floor as well. It's so valuable.
Oh, so valuable, and it just opens up for everyone else. And, you know, you can shoot with confidence knowing you've got her inside to clean up the boards, as well as Eminopu. Makes such a difference to a team.
Thompson misses the first. 34 of 44 coming into the game from the stripe. She was 1 of 1 before that. 14 and 6, there you see her numbers. The block earlier in the quarter. Misses both. Burgers on the way for Queensland. Head to the WNBL app. Code word is WRAP. Claim your free cheeseburger. Head to your local store before 6 o'clock tomorrow in Queensland and tell them that Unique sent you. Use that code word WRAP. Nice little Christmas present for all the Fire fans out there as Thompson gets underneath again, caught up with Cox and fouled, and she can go to the line to try and make amends.
She has started this quarter so well. She's come out with great intent
and a walk.
Yeah. That's payback for the flop they missed before. So, no, great job at getting to the line and the boards as well.
He's played a little bit of NBL 1 ball in Mackay, so not completely unfamiliar with Queenslanders Unique Thompson. Played most recently with Aubrey Wodonga. Some of her numbers absolutely absurd, especially rebounding the ball at NBL 1 level, and she's translated that beautifully into her first WNBL season. Hits both at the free throw line, so she did make good of the second opportunity at the stripe. Sydney get that lead back out to 7. Joel Peterson, Michelle Timms, Rachel Jarry and Ariana Prather with you on this Tuesday night. Thompson almost stripped it from Alice. Froling back up top to Abby. Trying to manoeuvre this defence to where she wants it. Threw it inside. It was taken away by Keely Froling. Swain inside. Thompson for 2 more. Unique Thompson is having her way with this Fire defence. She's got 18. Sydney out by 9. 4:16 left in the third. It's the Flames 48, the Fire 39. Unique Thompson coming off a 22-point game on Saturday. She's having another really strong performance here tonight. She's got 18 points. She's 7 of 12 from the field. 3 of 5 at the line, 6 rebounds, a block in there as well. She has really provided a great spark for them here in this second half so far, Rach.
She has. She just looks so confident out there, and she's making the right decisions about where to be on the floor and what reads to make. So, you know, she's picked up exactly where she left off on the weekend and just come out having an absolute super impressive game.
And defensively, she's been really good. I mean, she just about took a steal from the point guard, which I was about to throw my papers over my head if it had happened, but she's doing a bit of everything.
Big second half so far from Unique Thompson, who is adept in this part of the world. Spent her most recent NBL 1 season with the Mackay Meteorettes, doing a little bit of everything. A block, a 3, getting it done at the foul line. Liking her game so far is Unique Thompson. She's got 18 and 6. Her NBL 1 averages, by the way, 23 and 15, with a steal and a half in there a game, and a couple of assists as well. Put up some ridiculous numbers as Alicia Froling gets the Fire going again, cuts that lead back to 7. Ariana, you were listening to Shannon Seabohm at the timeout.
That's right. What I love about his coaching style is he's always cool, calm, and collective. He never looks frustrated or flustered or even mad at his team. He just pulled them together and again went through the offensive sets that he would like for them to run. He doesn't feel like their offense is flowing as smoothly as it should be, as Soa launches another one and will head to the line for 3. But guys, I have to ask you a question. When you're playing against a team that you know that you should beat, and you give them that breathing room and that confidence that we see the Sydney Flames have, how do you get that momentum back swinging your way?
Well, for me, it's just all about, you know, defense and that generating your offense. We see Sydney have been able to get, you know, really good looks for them, and Townsville aren't able to get the stops and run down the other end.
We're halfway through WNBL26. Don't miss your chance to catch a game live this summer. The perfect family day out, energy, atmosphere, and unforgettable moments. There is nothing like being in the crowd and part of the action. Scan the QR code on screen now, or head to WNBL.com.au to find a game near you. Get your tickets to a WNBL game. And with action like what we've had tonight, why wouldn't you? Heading off on holidays to one of our major cities. Now there'll be a WNBL game coming your way. Ellis with the takeaway. Cox can't complete the layup. Abby Ellis for 3. 1-point game. And you can knock them down, but you cannot knock this Townsville Fire team out. Swain, McSpadden, got it. Nice response from the Flames.
Beautiful pass from Swain there. Great decision.
Continue to answer the challenges here, Sydney, Timsy. They've had what they've needed it when they've needed it so far. Froling taking it all the way in, and 1. And Alicia Froling's all fired up.
She's fired up, but Townsville missed the obvious, and that was the switch with Cox being defended by McDowell. But that was a great take to get him out of jail there, Rach.
Absolutely. They've definitely steadied a little bit after that timeout and been able to execute down the floor and get some good looks, because they were looking very out of sorts offensively to start this quarter.
Alicia Froling has another free throw. Go begging from her hand. 2 of 7 at the line tonight. Came in shooting 42 of 65. She was 7 of 8 on Saturday. That form at the stripe has deserted her, and it stays a 1-point game. Townsville had the opportunity to tie it up. 2:30 remaining here in this third period. McDowell-White can't get it to go, and Froling comes soaring over the top of the pack for the rebound. Fowler offloads. Froling to Cox. Spat in the easy long rebound. Shanice Swain has found her stroke tonight. She finds some space to get one off here. She does, leans in and hits.
Oh, great poise.
Very great.
Shanice Swain's got 13 in the game. Season high 19 earlier this season against the Caps, and she made 5 triples. You can see Renee Garlop on the sideline instructing her team at the defensive end. Nicholson getting sent to check back in. Froling across the lane. Gets another one to fall.
You know, she's attacking the switch. Sorry. She's attacking the switch, but that's just such a strong move. She is going in hard.
Well, she wanted that ball for that whole possession, and they were trying to get it in. They just couldn't. They were a bit slow, but they finally got it in there, and she rewards them with that massive play.
Often in that situation, though, she needs to demand it, but it's actually the skip to the corner on the other side that's the open one. But they persisted.
So Alicia Froling hits the free throw. And ties us at 52. She's got 15 in the game, a team high.
What was that?
Swain just lost the handle on the way up then, I think.
Dipsy-doo.
Even outcrafted herself, did the Far North Queensland product. 52 apiece with 1:20 remaining here in this third period. Soa going baseline, cut off by Keely Froling. Alice guarded by McDowell-White, 7 on the shot block. Gets inside, Abby Ellis high off the window.
Yeah, that's tough.
And that is Townsville's biggest lead of the game tonight. 2 points. As we close in on three-quarter time. McDowell-White whips it to Keely Froling. They continue to get good looks on offense, Sydney. They are right in this game, giving the pre-season favourites all they can handle, and they'll get a late look at it here after the turnover. Strap in if you're at home. We are going the distance tonight. We've got another game coming your way as well with Perth and Canberra. That could be a very juicy one indeed, as McDowell-White has it picked by Cox, who runs the floor and lays it in. The locals love that. Half a second difference, shot to game clock. Sydney have got time if they want it. Swain driving inside is fouled.
Great job by Swain. No need to foul that, Rach.
No, that's it's a bailout foul. Make her make a tough behind-the-head finish like that.
Who did that during this round?
Abby Wareham.
Abby Wareham, what a shot. A circus shot.
What form Abby Wareham's in.
Yeah, she is.
Elsie Griffin spoke glowingly about her teammate after Pendigo's last game. 6th woman of the year in this competition. Here's Swain at the line. 2 or 4 for Swain. Makes it a 2-point ball game. Townsville will get the last say in this term. They trailed by 11 at quarter time, by 3 at half time. They now lead by 2. Ellis, 2 seconds left. Takes some contact, no call. And it's a 1-possession game as we turn for home. The Flames are giving Townsville all they can handle. Can this young team close out an upset win? 54-56. Final quarter is after this.
Looking for a better way to get up out of this, but they're getting on the internet, they're checking it out.
A little pre-Christmas present on this Tuesday night. The Townsville Fire lead the Sydney Flames by 2. One team's won 10 games all season. One team's lost 10 games. You wouldn't know it based on the scoreline at the moment as Alex Fowler starts us off nicely for Townsville here in this final period. Joel Peterson, Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms and Ariana Prather with you in this one. Sydney talked about needing to do what they did on Saturday for longer in the rematch of these two teams. Can they find another 10 minutes of quality basketball here? Shanice Swain thinks she's got a bit left in the tank, so does Keely Froling. Can cutting inside, couldn't find the handle. And a foul at midcourt, Swain on Fowler. So Shanice Swain will pick up the personal foul. Townsville by 4. Ariana Prather, you're listening to the Townsville Huddle at three-quarter time.
That's right. Coach Garlick was telling her team defensively, we have to put a wall up. And said Alicia Froling specifically, I do not want to see her score any more inside the paint. So she wants to see more of a paint presence from her team defensively. Put a wall up. Don't give them any easy two. And I have to agree, guys, how good were those two back-to-back and ones from Alicia Froling?
They were incredible, and there's another 2 for her, Ariana. 17 points for Alicia Froling tonight. She leads Townsville. Unique Thompson leads all scorers in the game with 18. Swain's got 15. Cam blows the way up there.
This lineup, sorry Joel, this lineup for Townsville is something we haven't really seen a lot of this season. They've gone very big with Fowler, Froling and Cox on the floor together. So naturally one of them is already going to start with a mismatch and Townsville are trying to exploit that as they do on that occasion.
Good shout, Rachel Jarry. Perfect timing. Lucy Olsen hits the triple. And the Townsville Fire get out to their biggest lead of the game to start this final term at 63-54. Timeout for Renee Garlick and the Flames as we take a look at the Amy replay and more craft from Alicia Froling.
Yeah, and that was off the back of a switch. And so going big helps them really, you know, monopolise that advantage and smart play.
Now the challenge is for the Sydney Flames. On the back foot all of a sudden in this game, what can you find? What can you go to?
Exactly right. This is, you know, the crucial time in the game where it could really go either way. So I'd love to see them come out and, you know, go to their superstar in Nicholson and Thompson and get them involved again, trying to make big plays and get to the foul line. And then defensively, they just need to continue to work hard, try not to overhelp. You know, when someone's one-on-one in the paint, they've got to stay out on those shooters.
And so far tonight, Timsy, Townsville hit the lead late in that second term at 34-33, the first time they've had the lead. Sydney then got it out to 9 to start that third quarter. So when they've needed to find something, they've had an answer tonight, the Flames. Can they muster it here? Can Keely Froling get them going? She can't, but Unique Thompson will just keep things rolling with her 20th point of the night.
And that was their first offensive board since half-time. They had 9 at half and they've got 10 now. So that'll help.
It's a big part of what they were doing, those second chance points in that first half. Foul, and Renee Garlick can't believe that that's been called on Michaela Can.
Wow, what?
See the rather visceral reaction from the coach on the sideline. Hands to her head in the corner of the screen there.
I'm calling charge.
No, that's you pesky point guards trying to get in the Bigs' way. I'll have none of that.
So fair to say you two don't see eye to eye on that particular ball.
She was standing there. She had, look, she's pleading her case. Can had set position and she just big bullied her.
Rachel Jarry, Michelle Timms with you in commentary tonight. Ariana Prather courtside, first leg of a Tuesday night doubleheader. Perth and Canberra still to come this evening. Oh, Soa had it stripped by Thompson. What a defensive play! And Unique takes it all the way.
No, she didn't.
That's going to be like play of the year.
That's a highlight reel right there. Bet your Soa's not feeling good right now.
Unique Thompson just took her lunch money.
She almost took Alice's last time as well.
Froling 2 more, 19 now for Alicia.
And Flames coach is not going to be happy with that.
Nicholson can, Emma Nobu, Froling, Thompson is the 5 for Renee Gala. Thompson darts the pass inside. The Frolings get tangled up again. This time it's Alicia who fouls Keeley, the latter, to head to the free throw line.
There's that steal.
Yoink!
Wow.
That's me on Christmas Day when there's only one slice of sticky day pudding left.
The question is, which relative of yours is Milasoa? Who are you stealing it off?
Good question.
Or you'll take anyone?
I'll take anyone. Maybe my partner.
As you're learning for tonight, folks, don't get between Rachel Jarry and the sticky day pudding at Christmas. That's going down in my notebook as well. I've got a couple of takeaways from you two this evening. 7 minutes remaining in this one. 65-59. Sydney have given us a terrific ball game tonight against this highly fancied Townsville team sitting second on the ladder.
Yeah, that's a good call. Unfortunately for Sydney and Froling, see there on the replay, swing through.
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's not much more Froling can sort of do in that situation other than give up a layup.
She's a little bit less vociferous in her reaction to that than she was in the third quarter.
Yeah.
The acting display, which I feel like that might get seen again at some point this year. Alicia Froling from outside. She's having herself a night. Couldn't hit there, but Cox pulls it back down. 8th offensive rebound of the game now for Townsville. Cox inside. Froling 2 more. This has been something very, very impressive from Alicia Froling this evening. .21 points. Emanopu can't keep it in. It'll go back in orange.
I feel like Cairns lost a little. Oh, there we see the nice dump from Cox into Froling, who is reigning on her sister's 200th parade, I might say. But I feel like Cairns not playing with as much the same confidence and belief that she did earlier in the season.
Having heard them speak about the rivalry and when they play against each other, part of me does feel like that might be intentional from Alicia this evening, just to make sure that Keeley's not the centre of attention.
Oh, harsh.
Personally, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. What a terrific game she's had. 21 points. 7th 20-point game of her career. Nicholson, no good. Thompson, another offensive rebound. 2 more for Unique Thompson, who's got a season-high 24.
Just so good. She gets herself in great positions as her team's attacking the basket to give her the best chance to come up with that glass. She just owns that charge circle.
67-61, 5:49 remaining in this final term. You can win the ultimate weekend of basketball in Perth with the WNBL and Minor Hotel. Scan the QR code on screen now for your chance to win a magnificent package for Hoops Fest next month. It includes Platinum Hoops Fest tickets, return flights for 2 nights at Oaks and Vine Perth Hotel, and $500 to spend at Oak and Vine. Don't miss your shot. Scan to enter now and be a part of all the fun of Hoops Fest this season. Of course, WNBL regular season action, NBL as well, all at RAC Arena, Sneakerland, all the activations in the city centre. It takes over the CBD in Perth, and it's going to be a magnificent time. The biggest hoops event on the calendar out west again this season. 5:50 remaining here in this one, and the Flames have at least now. They might be being held at arm's length, Rachel Jarry, but Townsville aren't able to push them away any further than that.
No, they've steadied since that last time out, but it's down the defensive end. They're going to have to work out, you know, how they switch without getting exposed inside. Townsville are doing a great job of getting the ball into the mismatch in Froling, who's been going to work.
Alicia Froling got the corner catch, didn't put it up, and looked off Sister Keeley. Cox tosses it inside off the under edge of the backboard, and good defense from Emma Nobu to make sure that that wasn't an easy look. 2 Knox Raiders teammates have tussled throughout the course of the evening. Now it's McDowell White out there with Nicholson, Emma Nobu, Thompson and Froling for Sydney. Unique had it, lost it, got it back, hook shot, rolls off. Cox was living dangerously, walking the tightrope along the sideline in front of the Townsville bench, but gathered the ball up. Halfway gone here in this final term. Townsville looking for an 11th win of the season. Sydney for just a 4th. And the first in their last 4 games. Thompson playing the passing lane again. Can't cleanly take that one.
Definitely a better couple of defensive possessions for Sydney. I think this lineup matches up better with this tall lineup of Townsville that we're seeing.
Great crowd here at Townsville Entertainment Centre tonight. Cox got the catch. Alicia Froling with the offensive rebound and throws the elbow back. And Keely's going, I've seen that in the backyard before.
Sorry, it's not funny. I love it.
Keely's looking to go and try and find mum and dad in the stands and say, can you sort her out?
I don't know there was that much in it, Rach.
No, there probably wasn't on reflection, on a slow-mo replay.
I thought she really gave her one.
Christmas in a couple of days could be interesting.
A few discussions
there
to be
could
had.
be some words. We might need to do some mediation before Christmas lunch, I think. This time it's Alicia Froling working on Nicholson, making her presence felt. Olsen with time winding down. Mid-range jump shot uncorked. Froling pulls it in with one hand, once and twice. No third attempt.
That's the advantage when the small, switches on you. Not that Nicholson's so small, but when you get a smaller player on you, you've got prime real estate down there if they don't get it into you straight away on the rebound.
Hall of Famer Michelle Timms alongside WNBL and WNBA champion Rachel Jarry. Nice find from Thompson to hit Emma Nopu. Have a look at that stat line. 4, 11 and 4 blocks for Agnes tonight. And the margin is 4. 3:45 remaining. Townsville are living dangerously. And Alicia Frolling's got more to add yet. 24 in the game. 1 away from her career best.
Well, Thompson and Froling are putting on a show for us tonight. I've just loved what both of them have done. Thompson's been fantastic, whether it's scoring, getting the boards, facilitating, getting steals off guards. And Froling's just been the go-to player for Townsville.
23.
Who would have thought 2 bigs dominating the game like this?
Keely Froling across the ladies fouled.
We love our bigs, Timsy.
Well, you know what? In the first half, last time they met, it was the bigs that provided the entertainment.
Yep, and it was Unique Thompson, Lauren Cox, and Keely Froling.
Yep.
Tonight it's been Unique Thompson, Agnes Eminopu, and Alicia Froling who've come up big. Keely's at the line. That is a role that you only get when you're playing in your home gym for a visiting team. She doesn't require the rim on the second. Takes it out of play.
It's good to see Swain back on.
Shanice has got 15 points in the game. Thompson's got 24 to lead all scorers. This woman's got 23 as Froling hands it off to Soa. Back now to Alicia Froling, looking for an equal career best 25.
Why, Rach? Why?
Just punishing that mismatch every single time. She's just played such a smart game. She does not want to go into Christmas Day losing to her sister, that's for sure.
Soa inside, Fowler outside.
Oh.
Soa stepping back, left it short. And Alicia's got a piece of Keely again.
That's entertainment.
And that is, I think that is 5 fouls on Alicia Froling.
Wow.
Well, that makes it very interesting.
Happy to be corrected.
Yep.
5 fouls for Alicia Froling. 25 points, 8 rebounds and fouling out. After Keely on Saturday had 5 fouls in that game. 16 and 6 and 5 fouls for Keely. 25 an ace and 5 fouls for Alicia tonight.
They're going to.
What are they calling?
Well, I think one was calling a block and one's calling a push-off.
Have they won
Count it.
that off? It won't count. The Sydney bench tells you all you need to know. And again, it's Keely Froling, arms to the heavens.
You can't see it on that angle. I'd like to see it on the other angle to see if it's a little home cooking or what's happening here, Rach. unfortunate.
Tough call.
That's why it was great having Swain back on. Oh, that's an offensive. Got to be careful and smart down the clutch here.
Soa Fowler, Cox, Alice Olsen. The lineup here for Townsville to close. 6-point game, 2.5 minutes remaining. Sydney have made a real game of it tonight. Lauren Nicholson's gone down hard. The hit from Cox.
Well, she came down like a freight train.
These are two physical teams.
She's got
Hopefully
she was just moving a bit.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was a hard hit, but she was on the move defensively, so that's her foul.
You know that any time you step on the floor in this venue, you're going to earn your bickies. Sydney have certainly done that tonight. And in the physicality stakes have dished out just as much as well. They have been, the intensity and their effort tonight has been relentless. Is it going to be enough down the stretch here? Cox with two really important free throws. 73-65, 2:23 remaining. McDowell White gets it in to Swain out there with Nicholson, Froling and Thompson. Soa Fowler, Cox, Alice Olsen, the 5. As McDowell White tees up a triple. Who touched that last? Keely Froling left bemused again.
I mean, it's early. Look, I don't know, Rach. It's, you know, you've got Nicholson, you've got Thompson. I don't know that's McDowell's. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but I don't know that's her shot.
No, there's still so much time left on the clock. You need to be getting a good shot for your team every single time down the floor.
Jackie Dover had just about enough of that conversation by the look of that. So 2:12 remaining. Townsville trailed by as many as 13 points at the start of the second quarter. Alice drives inside. The Fire will stay alive with 2 to go.
She hasn't had a great game tonight, Alice.
Swain, McDowell White again. Not this time either.
Oh, you don't want to foul that far away from the basket. It's 2 shots.
Looked like just frustration from Lauren Nicholson. And it will walk Abby Ellis all the way up the other end. A more than proficient free throw shooter. And it's going to be a timeout. There's a bit of frustration out there among both of these teams at the moment. Nerves are jangling, tempers are flaring. And it is the Fire who lead by 8, 73-67. With 1 minute and 50 remaining. If the Flames are going to be any chance down the stretch here, what do they need? What do they turn to?
Well, the players we mentioned. You know, you go to what's been working, and that's Nicholson, Swain, it's Thompson. Every time Thompson has been involved in an action, they've scored.
Yeah.
Either her, you know, coming at the end of it, offensive rebounding, or her making a pass. And I'm going to what I know, and that is Nicholson can score. She can, and Swain's been great as well. So the ball has to go through Thompson, and I want one of those two shooting it. They got to clean it up the other end, though. They can't foul. I know foul discipline was something that, you know, Coach talked about for her team that she needed, and they've been in foul trouble early in this quarter.
So it is an 8-point lead to Townsville, 73-65, 1 minute 50 remaining. A critical timeout for Renee Garlip. Ariana Prather, what did she have to say?
She told her team, absolutely, by no means necessary, do not foul. No easy fouls or sending the Fire to the line down the stretch here in this ball game. She also told her team to keep the momentum going offensively. She wants to push the pace and try to get things towards the basket. Doesn't think a 3 is necessary, and I agree.
Thank you, AP. Abby Ellis, an 87% free throw shooter. Makes it look elementary at the line. And Townsville out to their biggest lead of the game. The first time they've had it in double figures. They've been given all they can handle tonight by this Sydney team.
One thing about this Sydney team, they will fight and scrap to the end.
Yeah.
You can't take that much time off the clock, though, to get that shot. I thought they had one earlier.
Sydney with Canberra next before Southside Bendigo. And the Caps points at home. Townsville have got Bendigo next before Adelaide and a couple against Geelong. Kelly Froley is slashing through the paints. Having a few things to say to Alex Fowler on her way back to the huddle. There's been plenty of feeling out there tonight.
Has.
Yeah.
If you're not entertained.
It's been a very fun game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The Christmas spirit has not permeated the white lines on the outside of that hardwood.
She's laughing now. Yep.
And if Sydney are any chance, they need these. Colin can still make it a 3-possession game with 1:33 remaining. Just left the one out there. Dow White pressuring Abby Ellis. You heard Ariana say Renee Garlett wanted no easy fouls from her team. Townsville can milk as much clock as they can here. Ellis cross-court pass is a thing of beauty to Cox. Who touched that last? It was a fire hand.
And Sydney get the stop, but it was a long possession. So Townsville, use that shot clock, use the clock to their advantage, and now Sydney needs some quick buckets.
Yeah, and know what they need, 3-possession game.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh.
Swain will step her way through. She's more than capable. Reverse finish from Shanice Swain is gorgeous. They can't afford to foul, so Townsville can just keep ticking that time away. Thompson tried to reach in. Alice stepping through. Fouled by Keely Froling.
Rach, I thought that was a bit early to go. She still had 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, you've got to use every second in that situation. Wow, what a move.
That was awesome, especially with that big swipe of boxes coming by.
So 47 seconds remaining. Townsville up by 7, and Abby Ellis is heading to the stripe. Where so far tonight she is 4 of 4. After this timeout, Renee Garlett has taken her final opportunity to deliver the message to her team. Shannon Seabohm keeping one in reserve. Townsville have the advantage at this stage. They've got this game in a handy position, but for a long time it looked as though they would have an almighty challenge on their hands. They trailed by 11 at quarter time. Sydney got off to a terrific start, particularly on the defensive end. And I mean, even to hold Townsville to 75 points to this duration of game range is very, very impressive from Sydney.
Oh, absolutely. They will be very happy when they reflect on this game in regards to their effort and intensity and what they've done defensively to really push Townsville out of their stuff. And there'll be 6 other very interested teams watching on as to how Sydney have been able to do this. But at the end of the day, you want to win games, especially going into Christmas. There's nothing worse than going into that Christmas day on a loss. So, they've got to come out now and try and get some quick threes, but the ball is in very safe hands with Abby Ellis.
Yeah, there's plenty of game time left. There's still 47 seconds. So much can happen in that time. I'm starting to feel good about Sydney. I'm thinking there's a bit more game left in it.
Like that.
Or maybe it's wishful thinking.
That's okay.
This has been entertaining.
Wishful thinking is more than okay with us here at the desk, Timsy. 2 go from Ellis. 6 of 6 tonight for Abby. 16 points on the evening. And now Sydney needs something really, really special indeed.
And quick, like that.
3 ball from Nicholson's offline. It'll fall back into Flame's hands. Swain can jack one up. And connects. Shanice Swain from deep. And the flame keeps flickering for Sydney. What a talented shot maker this young woman is.
Well, the last 2 shots were by players that we wanted to have the ball, and that was Nicholson and Swain. That's the way.
Shanice Swain's first 20-point game of the season.
Is it?
4 of 5 from outside. Referees just taking their time to get things set up here. Can Sydney ramp up the pressure and force a turnover? Gee, they went awfully close. Olsen will get it across the timeline, and it's picked by Middell White. Swain again. Nicholson on the wing. Froling up top, stepping back. Keely Froling, no. Rebound Middell White. Touch pass to Swain. They'll get another look. Nicholson. Offline again.
Well, Middell White, take a bow. Absolutely outstanding.
What a sequence. The Flames got every look they could have asked for.
Whoa.
And with 8.7 left, it'll be Alice to go to the other end again. In fact, Fowler it will be who was fouled. Alex Fowler, an 85% free throw shooter. Nerveless with the first. What a finish.
I can't believe that last possession.
No timeouts for Sydney. And they have given Townsville one hell of a ball game. It won't be the win that they craved as Swain hits the circus shot to beat the full-time buzzer. We have seen a glimpse of the very best of Shanice Swain tonight. She can go to the line to add one more. It will only be a matter of margin. But this spirited Sydney team will leave Townsville with plenty of fans. Shanice Swain's got 22 on the game. A real return to form for her tonight. We're just trying to work out whether there's any clock remaining here as the two coaches talk things over. Both know each other well from Australian setups over the years. Many years in the WNBL for both of them. And the cowbells of Townsville jangling in the background, ready to erupt.
What a difference a couple of days makes for Swain, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think she was 1 of 9 in the last game.
A bit like Jazz Shelley earlier in the week, went from 1 of 15 to a new career high. 19 minutes. She was 1 of 8, 0 of 4 from downtown. Last time out, Shanice Swain. Tonight for this Sydney team, she's got 22 points, 4 of 6 from outside, 8 of 14 from the field.
In just 20 minutes.
Well, hopefully we see, you know, more of this form for the rest of the season. We know she's had some issues with injury and fitness and that kind of thing, so if she can get some continuity into her basketball, we'll hopefully see this form continue.
So there will be some time left. Townsville bench certainly enjoying things, having a little bit of a groove. Shanice Swain's got 23 on the evening. And the Townsville Fire withstand an almighty challenge from the spirited Sydney Flames. It's 11-2 for Townsville. They pull a 5-point win out of the Fire. They were made to work awfully hard this evening. And it is a win that was hard fought. Sydney gave themselves every chance, but ultimately just couldn't do it for those final 10 minutes, Rachel Jarry.
No, they couldn't hold on. They got some great looks down the stretch there, but just didn't quite have, you know, that polish to finish them off. But Townsville just did such a great job at getting the ball into Alicia Froling, and she was so dominant today.
So 79-74, let's go to Ariana.
That's right, I'm with Alicia Froling, player of the game and a career-high night for you on your sister's 200th game. I'll let you guys settle that over the holidays at home. How were you able to dominate tonight?
Oh, look, I don't think we were great in the first half. Probably not our best game, but, you know, I'm competitive and, yeah, couldn't let her win.
Speaking of that first half, you guys did trail for a majority of the game, but you found a way to win. Just talk about the fight this team has.
Yeah, I mean, we're a talented team. Obviously, like, Courtney Woods being out does hurt us a little bit, so we're still trying to find kind of ourselves without her. But yeah, we compete every day in training, so yeah, I had faith.
Way to work tonight.
Thank you.
That was Alicia Frawling, the player of the game. We will break everything down after this quick break.